What's up, guys? What's up, world? Glad to see you guys back here. Now, today I'm going to talk about something which I normally would never talk about because it's probably one of the most heated discussions in the USA, and that is words that relate to racism. Now, in America, racism is a giant problem. We've come steps and leaps. You know, having Obama as president, I was really hoping that would change things around the world and that black people would see that they had hope for their lives and know that they could accomplish anything, because I think it sucks for any person, any race, any creed or color to grow up and think that because of the color of their skin, they're not going to be able to achieve something. I just think that's absolutely horrible. Me personally, I'll be honest with you, it can make me cry when I watch old movies about slavery and stuff. It hurts my feelings because I just don't think that no matter what person's color is, no matter what they are, anybody should really be treated that degrading. And like, it's really upsetting me. I'm sorry, I'm trying not to cry in the video, but it's upsetting to me. Like, I know racism exists, it's here, but seems really weird now that people can start using words online and use an apology and just be like, oh, okay, it rolls over. And that's kind of what I want to talk about. Like a while back, this guy named PewDiePie, he's like the biggest YouTuber ever, has the most subscribers, the most everything. Well, when he was streaming and playing a game, and all of a sudden he said the word, that's right, the hard R word. Now, did he really mean this in a racist way, or was he just online talking shit? Okay? Now, my oldest son, he plays games and he's been banned from so many games over the years for talking shit to people. Now, one thing that I think a lot of this younger generation is forgetting, that these are actual people you're playing with online. So these people that you're telling me you wish they were dead, you wish they were all this stuff, and you guys know who you are out there. You play these games and you talk so much mad stuff to the other players. Well, these people aren't bots. These are actual people, okay? So when you're out there doing all this stuff, try to remember in the back of your mind that you're actually talking to people. Now, I grew up in a long time ago, and when I grew up as a child, I lived in this place called Altadena. If anybody from California know where that's at, it's predominantly very much a black area. In fact, I was one of the only white people who ever even lived there. And now I've moved out to this place called Moreno Valley, and out here we do have a pretty giant population of black folks. All my neighbors around here are pretty much black folks, and they're all great neighbors. Now, this is what trips me out though. Out here almost every day, okay, when I'm out in public, I hear people refer to each other as, okay? Not the hard R version, I don't hear that, but I do hear the word all the time, like, hey, what's up, my, hey, what's going on, my? And people do this all day long. Now, Jesus the cameraman said, hey, this is totally cool for black people to talk like this between each other, but if anybody else says it, it's racism. Well, that right there, I'm going to tell you, is creating racism. My point was that when I was a kid, most of the black people call each other brothers and sisters. Brother, sister, what's going on? Nowadays, almost everybody I know calls each other brother. Hey, what's up, brother? What's going on, bro? So that particular word, even though back then it was for them bonding, has become pretty much the universal word for, hey, what's up, homie, brother? That's it. So will the soft version of the N-word eventually roll down the line to be a word that's just used between everybody? Because right now, if only black folks can use this word between each other and it's cool and no one else can, or they're a racist, well, that's just creating racism. Think about it. If this word is okay to be used between a certain group of people, it should be acceptable to everybody out there. Now, about a week ago, we had another YouTuber, this dude named Ninja. He's playing his games and stuff, and he's rapping this song to a Drake song, and he all of a sudden changed the lyrics and used, you know, the soft word, the word in the thing while he's playing the game, and people are all freaking out. Oh my God. Well, if it was really that big of a deal, the apology would not just be accepted. But with a simple apology, these guys move on with their stuff. So really, these words that even though they were in the past were considered like really bad words, maybe the best way to get rid of racism altogether is to stop caring about these words having any value. I mean, if someone comes up to me and they tell me, hey man, you're a blah, 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 if I know that I'm not that thing, I'm not gonna let it affect me. And that's how everybody else should be too. And I really feel that with that word, the soft word, should eventually just roll over and be acceptable to everybody who's out there and be able to use that word just like we use brother nowadays. Like, I would imagine, honestly, 100 years from now, I cannot imagine 100 years from now people saying that soft N-word, being looked at and going, oh my God, brother, you're a racist. Eventually, that word is going to spread out. Like I said, in the 60s, no white guy was going to walk up to another white guy usually and go, hey, brother, unless it was actually his blood brother. But now everybody refers to each other as their brother. So when I hear black folks using that word between each other, are they using it to insult each other, or are they using it as a term of endearment, like, hey, homie, hey, brother, but it just has the soft A on the end of it? Because that's what it seems like to me. I want to eliminate racism altogether. Like Calvin, my brother who's over in England, peace out, man, I know you're watching this video. Over there, racism is not as bad as it is here in the USA. I don't know why here in the USA there's so much hate over skin color. It's just ridiculous. It makes no sense. Nobody has control of what color they're born. Nobody does. You're born into what you are. And like I said in the very beginning of this video, if you have to grow up feeling like the color of your skin is going to keep you from doing anything in your life, then this world is just a completely fricked up place. It should never be that way. The only thing in life that should keep you from succeeding is you being a complete, utter assbite. And that's it. If you're a good person, you work hard, you're a steady person, you've got a kind heart, the color of your skin should not matter one damn bit to what you're doing in life. And like I said, when I saw President Obama, when he got elected, I voted for him. When he got elected, I was like, hey, okay, things in America may change, because now maybe black folks will see that, hey, you know, when they grow up, they're not going to be stuck at a menial job. They could actually be the president of the United States. And I was really, really hoping that with that move, that racism would have died. But it didn't happen. It went the complete opposite way. In fact, President Obama got elected and racism rose up like a roaring tiger. There were race crimes all over the place. The police were beating up on people. People are beating up on people all over the color of skin. I mean, come on. We've been around this planet for years and years and years. We've got like almost a 3,000-year history of written history now altogether, right? And in all that time, still basic things like skin color, ethnicity, what you are, still matters. And this is just ridiculous. Even though we may have advanced in a lot of ways electronically, we all got nice computers, little handheld phones, all the bullcrap that we can do, technically in the back of our minds, we're all cavemen. That's just the bottom line. Do you guys agree with me? Honestly, the point of this video I really wanted to point across to you guys is the N-word nowadays. I know the hard R one is still like considered a bad thing, but is the soft one really now a bad word? Or is it becoming something that people are accepting? You know what I mean? Because like I said, lots of folks between themselves interacting use that word, and it's not a word of derogatory. And please forgive me this. If another black person walks into another black person, they walk up to them and go, hey, what's up? It never happens. You never hear that word being thrown out there, but you do hear the word thrown out there. So in essence, I feel that this word should probably become something that's not based on racism. That word should kind of probably be removed out of the racism equation altogether. And if everybody was allowed to use that word of a term of endearment, it would become just like brother, because that's how I think that word is actually meant between people. I don't feel that the soft A word is really a giant racist word nowadays, and I don't think that really too many people out there, you know, you see the shock value videos like, oh my God, I can't believe that guy used the word. Now, PewDiePie, he did use the hard R word, and personally, that word, I find it offensive. Most people find it offensive. It's just a word that's used as a derogatory term. It doesn't have to necessarily mean even just towards a certain color of people. That very word itself is derogatory in itself. So whether you're using that towards any color, race, creed of a person, if you're choosing that particular word is known around the world as an insult and a degraded word. I do not think that saying the word is the same thing. I don't feel that that has the same type of impact on it, the same type of emotional semblance or any type of connection to that word. It's kind of an abbreviation of the word, but it's not meant to be an insulting word. It's not meant to be a degrading word, and it's definitely not something to cause tension amongst all the races as a word. So at the end of the day, hey, where you live, where you come from, who your friends are, this will probably have a lot to do with how people accept you and accept us using this word. Me personally, I wouldn't go and use this word in a video other than today, just because I know that some people still find it kind of offensive, but I'd like to see a world where the soft N word just goes out the way of being racism and just becomes a term of endearment that means, like I said, hey, my brother, hey, my homie, hey, my friend, because that's what I think it's intended to. All the hype about trying to like jump on these guys and kill these guys, come on, it's the internet. Took me a long time myself to adjust to people who are trolls. Or people come to my site and they tell me, hey, straight up, I'm only coming to your site, Elric, so I can dislike your video and leave a bad comment on your video. It's the internet. People are gonna say things and do things on the internet that they normally would never do in person. Because I guarantee you, that guy PewDiePie would not be on the street using that word to people at all, ever. It would never happen. And the Ninja guy, probably the same exact thing. If they went out and used that word in public, they would probably get biatch slapped. And that's just how things go. Racism sucks. I hate racism. But it does seem like people with just an apology can get away with using words that normally none of us would find acceptable.